I've been asked by a few people if I could do some information on the clipper that I use, which is the Ultra Edge brushless Andis. Now, I think I've used quite a few clippers, and I've never really took to any of them other than my Andis. I started off training on the Andis, and then of course I tried to experiment on other clippers like the Heiniger. Is it Heiniger? I love the look of it. It looks really, really lush. But when I started using it, I still found it quite heavy for a cordless one. I do have a cordless trimmer, but I seem to keep going back to the corded Andis. And I think it's a lot of everyone's favourites. And here it is here. Is this the one that you use? Over the years, I've had every colour except green. I'm not a fan of green, though I think the bright green is quite nice and funky. It does help to have a colour that you like. Some people just go for the black, but black is the one people use to train on really a lot. And then once they're experienced more, they seem to like go for the colours. But I've had pink, I've had blue, and I've had a burgundy colour as well. And then you've got the two versions, two-way clippers, like speeds, and you've got the low speed and the high. Most of the time I use the high speed, I think. And can I just say that this clipper is an absolute workhorse. This is a real workhorse, this is, and it'll last you for years and years if you look after it well. And it doesn't take a lot of big like work to look after it really. Just little regular things, you know. When you buy one of these, it usually comes with an extra bush, what they're called bushes, and you can change it. This here, comes with a new one that you can replace. But obviously, this could last you like 2 years, depending on how often you're grooming. If you're just grooming your own dog at home, this is going to last for years and years. And then you've got your spare part to change it. Also, this is the motor and everything inside it. So what we look at is if we pull this bit off, there we go. It's got like a little bit of cushioning or foam on that. And then you look inside there. This is your motor, your bushes. You see this bit here can be unscrewed and removed and replaced. And a lot of these come with the spare part. But honestly, if you're not using it that often, it's going to last you years. And then you will have a spare, which is going to last you even more years. So I can see this lasting for about maybe 6 years, 5 or 6 years if you look after it. See, this is your motor, this is your brushless motor bit here. So what you do is about once a month, depending on usage, you get your oil. Now, most clippers come with oil, Andis oil, Well oil, all sorts of different oils, but they'll do the same job. And you put a drop of oil on here in the motor. And then you could press it on and then run it so the oil goes all the way around. And that. So, yeah, so you keep it oiled, but not too much. And just a little bit in there once a month will do the job. And you've got this bit. Now, sometimes this clump clips down. Sometimes if it pushes down, it's a pain to get it back up. If it's pushed down before you've got your blade on, you could use just a flat screwdriver or anything that's flat to push it back up again. And then honestly, it goes backwards and forwards quite easy, even though it looks like it doesn't. But yeah, and that is the inside of that. And you've got your brushes that are replaceable, but they last ages. You've got your motor inside, but you oil it and a few drops of oil. Don't have to flood it. And if you want it to work around the engine, you just switch it on and give it a little go on there. And that is that. And then once you've oiled it, also after every use, when you've finished using it, brush it out, get rid of all the hair and the muck inside. The best thing, I used to use one of those shaving brushes. I used to use a shaving brush, or one of the best things I find now is old toothbrush. Get an old toothbrush that gets everything out, the nooks and crannies of all the little holes in there, you know. And that get everything out. And then we pop that back on. Now, this is always fiddly to me. My husband does it first time. Is it down? Let me get on. Let's go. Oh, there. Right. See, what's a bit fiddly? It's the only thing about the Andis is a bit fiddly. We'll get Trev, my assistant, to do it. Trev, I'll pop that on. You make it look so easy. I know you guys probably do it better than me. I always fight to get this back on, but once a month I have to put it on because there we go. That bit on there. Trevor is a professional at putting it on.
Hang on, someone's burning. Someone's burning.
He's gone left us. Where he's gone? Well, he's ran into the kitchen.
Right, it's okay.
Here's the assistant.
It's okay. It's okay.
Trevor was like, "Oh God, you took it off, and you got to put it back on then." Your sponges fell off. Always make sure your sponges it. Voice has decided to go. Has lack of fluids, I think. The tea. Trev's just made a lovely cup of tea. It's taken ages to get it today because we've been busy taking the dogs out for toilets and just had their breakfast and now they've settled down to sleep. Did Ellie have breakfast yet? Yeah. Ellie's waiting for a cooked fish. Penthouse princess. Isaac's had breakfast. Hope all your dogs are keeping cool in this heat. We're in Devon in the West Country in the UK and it is like 31 degrees today right through to Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I've just started getting a bit mobile, getting out in the car, pottering around the shops and stuff. And I got used to getting a bit mobile. And now I'm stuck in the house because we can't go out in this heat. I can't take the dogs in the car in this heat, even with the windows down. It's too much. But I'm hoping that in the evenings, if it cools down a bit, might be able to go for a ride in the car or have a little tiny walk around, even if it's to walk around Asda's and pick up some juice, anything. Because don't want to be sat immobilised in a chair all day. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, enough about me. But Trev's got it back on. Brilliant. He's fantastic at this. Your guys will probably be better than. Just one thing I struggle with is getting that on. But otherwise, I absolutely love this, and it is my go-to. Then you notice that you've got this hook at the top. So if you've got a hook on your shelf, you can hook it up like that, which is quite good. I don't feel it's very heavy, even with a cord. This is not your heaviest clipper that I've used. It's quite lightweight, really. I noticed when I had the Heineken, even though it was cordless, I felt that with the battery pack and everything, it was like, oh, this is heavy. You know, we used a few whales, some of the top of the range whales, but I've always come back to this. So yeah, but I mean, I'm not promoting advertising, and I'm just showing you how to service it and keep it in good condition. Because a lady got in touch with me saying that she's got one of these and she wanted to know a bit more information about looking after it and stripping it down and things like that. So that once you've done that, and actually make sure that the sponge is not worked its way up. Normally, when you get a new one, it's glued to this side here. But with use, it does work off, and in the end, it's just sitting in there, and you don't want it coming up further and interfering the bushes and the motor there, I see. So yeah, there we got the clippers. This is the blades. This is A4F, and this is one of my favourites for using on Cockapoos. When you clean it, well, after use, again, I use my toothbrush to clean it, get all the hairs out of it. You slide this blade bit out here and brush it out, brush all your hairs out. Once you've done that side, you go back again and you push out with your thumb and you do the other side. You brush it out of hair with your toothbrush. And then I've got this pot, a little black pot, a blade cleaner pot. I spray them with a Barbicide Hygiene, a whale, it's by Whale actually, a whale blade cleaner. Now you can soak them in here Or what I do is I just spray them all over and leave them in the pot. And I leave them like that for about 15, 20 minutes. And then I dry them. I also have a UV sterilizer, and put 45 minutes in the UV sterilizer if you want to back up hygiene as well on there. You can never be too clean, especially when you've got different dogs coming in. If you're a home groomer and you've got more than one dog coming in. I'm now retired and I've only got my own 2 dogs and that. But anyway, that's if you're in that line of business. But for home groomers, you don't have to have a UV sterilizer. You could just do your hygiene barbicide and that, and soak it in that. Also, make sure they're well oiled, and oil them after every use. I usually put a few drops of oil, or maybe 1 drop of oil, a small bit along here. But it don't let it, when it soaks in, you don't want it all like clumpy. So what I do is I get a brush and I brush the oil all around it evenly, so it doesn't sit in too many, of the blades. It doesn't like just let settle there. So yeah, that's maintaining it and cleaning your blades. And then when you pop your blade on, you slot it. See that little bit there? That slots on like that. See, that's wobbly. Clamp it down. Make sure you push it tight. Now you might find that if it keeps coming up, then it's not secure. The worst thing you want to do is start clipping and it's hanging down and it's like loose, because that's going to trap skin and that's going to be deadly. So what I do is I double check. That's it. That's it. Now, what you might find is, if you see this bit in the corner here, this has got to line up that groove there with this black piece here. And a lot of the time, you might find different blades are in this bin's in a different location of different blades. So what you do is you move your black little thing around to line up properly with it. And then yes, it does move around because it has to move when it's clipping. So like that. So there. I think that still feels loose. I think the black bushes need moving, sort of thing. Oh, that should be secure. If you feel resistance, you know that it's not going to fall off like that. Trev, could you get me a number 10 and try that? And then push it. You push this bit up here, that releases the blade like that. The 10 is on there, Trev. I'll show you with a 10. My 4 is being a bit awkward. Can you get it? Where are you going? Trevor's whispering.
The little black bit.
Yeah, I know. Well, people can see that.
Wait.
He's saying I'm not showing the right bits of the camera. Right. Yeah, this is the 10. Okay. Sliding on. Slide it off. Push it back. Feel that click. Now, feel the resistance with your thumb against it. That's not going to fall off. And it's ready to go. There we go. Oh, there we go. And then you just press that up, take it off. On that. Click. This one was being awkward. It didn't want to do the click properly. And sometimes it's because the inner blade is not lined up with the actual the black part on here. And like I say, sometimes if that happens a lot with blades. But yeah. But this, you feel it and you can't, there's no resistance in that. You can't get that up at all. When you want to get it off, you push this with your thumb up. That goes back like that. And sorry about Trevor in the kitchen. He's making the dogs a fish. He isn't supposed to be in the kitchen while I'm podcasting. Get out. Trevor, you're taking over my podcast.
Sorry. Oh no, just looking after the dogs.
Yeah. So yeah. That's that. So if you have any questions or anything you need any help, just write down in the comments and I'll get back to you on it. But yeah, but that's your basic cleaning. I can just say that it costs a lot to get these sharpened. Obviously, if you're just doing your dogs at home, they're going to last ages. But if you're grooming from home as a business, you're going to have to get them sharpened. But I've got a tip to save you money and time. I go to a place called Groom Savers that sell the actual blades. You know these bits here that come out, and then because basically when it gets blunt, it's this bit here. It's this bit that wears out. So you can actually buy these for £6 from Groom Savers, but I think the guy's changed the name of the business now to Vanro.com. Check it out and have a look. But it's got some really good stuff in it and a lot of discounts and that, and it's not really, really expensive. But if you could buy one of these for £6, take this one out, swap it, put it over, put a new one in, and then put a new blade in, and bingo, you've got a new blade. And you don't need to go and get it sharpened, and you could do that many times. So as a tip there, to buy the second one, you just go, oh, I'm just going to pull that out, get your new one, put it back in, and you've got a new sharpened blade with a new blade. And that's what I've been doing for the last year or two. When I first started out as a groomer, I was sending them off to a sharpening company, and it'd take weeks to get them back. And of course, I had to buy like 2 or 3 of each size so that I had something at home while the others were being sharpened. But then I became an ambassador for Groom Saver, and he sent me some of these blades. And you just pop brand new blades, pop in, and you got your new sharp blade again. And you just keep this bit. So yeah, that's a nice little tip there. If you need to do that. So yeah, so thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us today. And if you've got any questions, just get in touch, okay? Take care. Bye. See ya.